this video, we are going to cover Unaric ACI, or Unaric Availability and Contact Info. So what this is here is this is a Unaric custom component that can be added to either a contact or a lead record inside of Salesforce. And this will allow you to see the Microsoft Teams presence of external users and also initiate outbound SIP calls towards those contacts. This does require that your company and the third-party company you're trying to contact are either federated with each other through Teams or that you're both open federated. So if federation isn't enabled, and a good way or an easy way of testing that is to try and reach out to the user through the Microsoft Teams desktop client. So for example, if you search their email address in the top, if you don't see them as available through here, you won't be able to see them as available via Unaric ACI. However, if you can see them and you can IM them and call them directly from your Teams client, then that means that you are federated together. So this says that the contact doesn't have any email address. As you can see, the email address is blank. So what we're going to do is we will create the email using Email Finder. And the way that this works is you have first name, last name, and the domain name. So the way that this is formatted is it's first name dot last name and domain name. So, for example, we're going to add Josh dot sword. It's at test. So the way that that's been formatted, when I do search, that's going to search for josh.sword at test.unaric.com. If the email address was joshsword at test.unaric.com with no dot, you would add Josh Sword into the last name and you would clear the first name field. So that's just going to be Josh Sword at test.unaric.com. Same if it was J Sword, you would just have J Sword, and that's J Sword at test.unaric. However, because the email address is josh.sword, we'll format it as Josh Sword and test.unaric.com. Do search. Okay, so the search is complete and it's found the external user, josh.sword@test.unaric.com. We can also see their Teams presence, which is available. So if we click there and we can update the user's email, once that's been done, you can see the email field has now been populated with josh.sword@test.unaric.com, and we can see Unaric ACI shows that josh.sword@test.unaric.com is available and online on Microsoft Teams. As you can see in Teams, I'm available. So if I go and change this present state now, for example, to do disturb, and we do a refresh inside of Unaric ACI, or if we just come to the contact record, now we'd see that the Teams presence is do not disturb. So this is a great feature to have if you'd like to see external customers or partners, for example, to be able to see if they're available on Microsoft Teams. So what we can do as well is click to dial. Does work through here. So if we click on the user's email address, you can see there that that's now calling out, and you can see that it's ringing me in my test.unaric.com Microsoft Teams client. We do also differentiate between PSTN calls and SIP calls. That has generated a Microsoft Teams SIP to SIP call. So in here you can see outbound calls too, and where the phone number is present. We know that this is a PSTN call. Where the email address is present, we know that this is a SIP call. And inside of the phone task itself, you can also see that the call to phone field is blank because we haven't called a telephone number, but we can see the call to UPN or user principal name. That field has been populated with the email address or the SIP address of the contact that